After GeorgeNotFound grew his audience to over 10 million subscribers, he has had to watch everything he has built up come crashing down, with his entire fanbase turning against him overnight, losing his Twitch followers, rapidly losing thousands of subscribers and Twitter followers, all stemming from a single accusation. And to understand just how this went down, we need to start in 2020, when GeorgeNotFound would first appear on YouTube as a feature in Dream's Minecraft videos, and after quickly rising to 100,000 subscribers, the Dream team decided it would be best if they all extend their reach with the creation of their own personal channels. Straight away, George was met with success, but when things really blew up was the creation of the Dream SMP in mid-2020, where in just a few years, GeorgeNotFound would grow to over 10 million subscribers on YouTube, 5 million followers on Twitch, and 4 million on X. But one tweet would ruin this all. Katiebugs, a smaller streamer, would post to her Twitter stating she was live, telling her story. This was a stream in which Katiebugs would go off exposing GeorgeNotFound for his SA and misconduct, starting the stream off claiming Wilberset's accuser is the one to give her the courage to come out with these accusations.
But her strength made me feel like it may be okay. A little while ago, my story had almost been leaked without me knowing. So here it is on my terms. Here's my story. Last year, at the beginning of summer, I was assaulted by a significantly older and popular content creator. I was freshly 18 and had just graduated high school a few weeks prior. I was drunk in a hotel room with other people around me when it happened. He was someone I had once watched, and he was 8 years older than me.
She then goes over the details of this alleged SA, where after attending a party at 18 years old, her friends and herself were invited to the hotel of the larger creators to carry on drinking after the initial party. She then reports that while playing a mobile game, George would become inappropriate.
When I resorted to playing games on my phone when it happened, out of nowhere, I felt him slip his hand under my clothes, sitting next to me on the couch in front of everyone. He disguised it with a simple "Are you ticklish?" I coughed out a no, still staring at my phone. I was overly aware of the fact that we were in front of other people, the fact that everyone else was sitting around us, watching us, including my best friend, and that his hand was inching further to places I hadn't asked for it to be. He made a game out of my embarrassment, where he would touch me in certain areas to make me lose the phone game I was playing. I was scared, and I felt sick, either from the alcohol or from his touch.
Initially, in response to this, the comments were exactly not what you would have expected. She's so clearly faking it. This is disgusting. As an SA survivor, I am appalled by her behaviour and the way she wrote the script, like an edgy 10th grader's creative writing project. But despite these few comments, the loyal community GeorgeNotFound had built up already started to switch up, meaning George had no choice but to respond to these accusations. I will be doing a very serious stream later today. I have never and would never break someone's boundaries or assault anyone, and this is also where Dream would get involved in the story, posting screenshots onto his private Twitter of conversations between him and Catty's friend, Ghosty Fruity. Invited an 18-year-old to your room to have drinks is so disingenuous. I didn't invite her, Blank did, and it was only my hotel because it was big and the hub for everybody, and these were actually confirmed by Ghosty herself. So yes, those texts are real. I honestly did not know how Catty felt about everything at the time, as this was like directly after VidCon, and Katie honestly hadn't come to terms with what had happened. And this is where the framing of the story already starts to fall flat, with people picking up on the fact that this doesn't make her freshly 18. In fact, this makes her over half a year older than was initially led on by Katie. March the 11th. George would post his response in a video titled "Addressing a Very Serious Allegation." In this video, George would go over his perspective of the events from the evening, mentioning how Dream didn't want to invite the group of girls initially, and how they had to sneak each of them down a pass so they could actually come into the hotel room. He would also debunk the claim that he was encouraging the girls to drink, with the fact that the girls were actually the ones encouraging the drinking game.
Another thing that she talks about is how we insisted that she drinks more, and that we insisted on playing drinking games, when this isn't the case. Again, they had already been drinking at this party before they arrived to the hotel room, and they had also been the ones that were asking to play the drinking games. So instead of us insisting that we play it, they were actually the ones that were asking us. And you can see that in the screenshot here. They had actually texted multiple times, specifically wanting to play this drinking game that we had played the night before. And at this point, I was pretty drunk, and so was basically everyone in this room. It was the last night of VidCon. VidCon's a pretty stressful time.
He then goes over the claim that he did not know her age, as she was wearing a 21 and over wristband. Then he addresses the actual misconduct incident.
Yes, me and Katie were at the far end of the couch, and we were cuddling together. We had been cuddling for, I'd say, around an hour at this point, playing the game, talking, and just having fun. And for clarity, I had my hand around her waist above her clothes. So with her statement where she's saying that she's resorting to playing games on her phone, I just don't really understand it. And I think that the picture that she's painting is really dark, when in reality she seemed very happy with the situation.
After this video was posted, Katie would take to her private Discord server to respond to all of the claims mentioned throughout GeorgeNotFound's video. Originally, I did not want to add to this situation with proof. I also don't want victims to feel they have to prove themselves to people to be believed. This tweet I plan to post will be the first and the last proof or response I have, as I don't want to keep proving myself. Katie then posts this tweet with the caption simply reading, "For now, goodbye." Going on to state, he never got verbal confirmation from me. He chose to move to a sexual move on the couch where everyone was hanging out. She also showed photos of their Instagram conversations. The messages were nothing insane, just banter, nothing insane or proof-worthy. To the response that she could have moved, she debunks this by stating, "Yes, I got up and sat in the same spot. I believe in a room on a sofa with people on it, you just sit back where you were when you got up." After reading this, GeorgeNotFound would post another video and a tweet. In this tweet, he would state, "Since reading Katie's newest post, my perspective of that night has massively changed, as she introduced new information I was not aware of. Katie, I am sorry. I am so sorry." Yet, despite apologizing, in the video he posted, he debunks even more information from Katie and exposes her for faking text messages between her and one of George's friends.
What's up?
So there is a text that is claimed to be from you.
Yeah, I didn't send that text. I found out about it when you sent it to me. But yeah, no, that wasn't me. I don't know where they got that from. I didn't ask them for any of their phone numbers or anything like that.
Can you kind of just talk me through your, like, anything that you remember from essentially the entire event?
I didn't really notice any like bad vibes or anything like that. It was a little playful, maybe a little flirty. I noticed you guys were just kind of like playing with each other and just like kind of cuddled up a little bit on the couch. So it definitely didn't seem like she was like uncomfortable, you know?
He would also go on to debunk the claim that Katie didn't know her friend had left the party.
Next, she talks about how I mentioned that she stayed for hours even after her best friend left. She says that her best friend left throwing up in her hand and that she didn't know she had left, that she didn't make the conscious decision to stay. Now, this isn't my recollection of what happened. I remember Ghosty getting up to leave and Katie getting up to say goodbye to her. I also asked Dream about this and he had the same recollection as me. We were all drunk, so I can't 100% say for sure what actually happened, but as per my memory, she was aware that Ghosty had left. Also, according to what she said, Katie and Ghosty were sharing the same hotel room together. So the obvious assumption is that they would probably leave together. The fact that she chose to stay, despite not really knowing most of the people there, gave me a pretty positive impression on how she felt.
Then he would go on to debunk the claim that he knew how old Katie was.
As you can see here in this screenshot, her age is actually in her display name on Instagram. And because of this, I was also pretty confused how I didn't know that she was 18, as it's literally in her name, not even in her bio, it's in her name. So I actually completely see where she's coming from, and it does seem kind of ridiculous that I didn't know. So because of all this, I actually started to look into this quite a lot because I know that I'm not stupid and must have seen it. But also in my head, I know that I didn't know her age, so it conflicts. So today I actually found out there are two different types of professional Instagram account. There's a creator account and a business account. And for some reason, Katie's account was a business account instead of a creator account. We actually joked about this at the time through our DMs because I was actually able to book her as like a business and I didn't really know why I was able to do that. And weirdly enough, it actually turns out that business accounts don't display special characters from a username in the username that's displayed. And if you don't know what I mean by special characters, basically just a character that isn't something you can type on a normal keyboard. And because her age and the smiley is a special character, it literally just didn't display it in her username at all. And you can actually see this in a picture that I sent to her during our messages, that her age is not displayed in her name.
So regardless of how true this is, regardless of all the debunks from GeorgeNotFound and those on his side, the court of the internet has decided GeorgeNotFound is guilty, with him losing 100,000 subscribers the day of the original tweet. If you did enjoy this video,